Ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends, welcome to The Week with me, Comrade Fatso. And today in studio, we are joined by a very special guest, the Honorable MP for Harare West, Comrade Jessie Majome. Welcome to the show, Jessie.
Thank you, Comrade.
Now, I know you're in full campaign mode and you are crisscrossing the constituencies. So I want to pose you this question. Comrade, why did you leave the MDC? I mean, did you not sell out the party?
Comrade, I think what I can say is that the party is the one that left the founding ideals and the founding principles of the party. And also in particular, the party just decided to leave its very criteria and rules for selecting candidates. So I'm still where I was, and I'm still where those are. So I decided to run as an independent because of the gross irregularities that the party was insisting on employing in the selection of candidates.
So are you saying MDC was doing a little ZEC? It
was doing a ZEC, to be honest, and free and fair elections is what we want. We must have free. I'm entitled to free and fair elections administered by ZEC, and I'm also entitled to free and fair elections administered by my party. So if they are not there, then
But you've been in power in that constituency for 10 years, comrade. Do you not think maybe it's time for me to step down, let this youth take over?
Well, I will say no because of 3 reasons. 1, I respect the people of Harare West. I'm one of them. The constituents of Harare West have a democratic and constitutional right in terms of Section 62 to make political choices freely and to vote themselves for who they want to be their member of parliament. The elections are available for people to vote for who they want. If they want to vote for the young lady, they'll vote for it. If they want to vote, they'll vote for me. And also, again, I'm also following in the footsteps of my party leadership, Comrade Fats. In my party, there are legendary luminaries who have been in parliament. You say it's 10 years and it is 2 terms. But I can give you 5 of them who are in their 4th term. One of them, the first one is, of course, my party president, Honorable Comrade Nelson Chamisa. He is serving his 4th term as a member of parliament. And he's not stopping. He's going to seek presidency. What if I also want to, I'm at 2 terms, 10 years. I'm not at the 4 years, I'm in 4 terms, 15 years that he has. What if he had stopped at 10 years, 2 terms? He might not be on the ballot come this. So Envana, Honorable Machakada, Gonese, Amos Chibaya, Paulina Mpariwa, there are others with a bit less. There are so many of them. And I respect the people of Harare West. They will choose. And also I'm following in the steps of my wise party leadership.
Jessie, what's your message to Priscilla Chigumba? I mean, don't you think that ZEC are being very creative in how they're printing the ballot papers and, putting ED, giving him his own column, putting him at the top? I mean, what message do you have to such creativity?
Wow, I can say to ZEC, hey, ZEC, I mean, look, just remember that elections are all about confidence. And, even if you as ZEC believe that you are acting independently, if we, the voting public, are not convinced, and if we have niggling doubts, address those. They might be petty, they might be peeves, but where you can't go to the extent of maybe to the extent that we want, show us that you have nothing to hide, and show us that you accept and you value our worries and concerns, and that you have either addressed them or are going to address them, or that there are some that you cannot address, but still show us how you're going to mitigate the problems that we think or we imagine or we experience. That's what I would say to her.
I'm going to ask you either or questions. Zim dancehall or Zim hip hop?
Zim dancehall.
Brian Mteki or Nkosana Moyo?
If it's music, I'll say Brian Mteki.
Maybe Nkosana Moyo does music too. He looks like a country star. ED or Chamisa?
I will say, I want to hear what the audience will say. That one, yeah, that's an interesting one. Hey, but what I will say is that, look, let's vote for a candidate who will bring true and meaningful change in the way we live and for better livelihoods. Yeah, so Auntie knows what my vote is my secret.
Share your comments in the comment section, comrades. So you've been in your constituency as MP for 10 years. What do you still have to offer your constituency?
The short answer to that is that I have myself to offer. I'm still here. I hear that question being asked a lot, but it isn't asked with the mindset of what it is that an MP does or doesn't do. I think a lot of people forget that members of parliament are not executors. They don't do things. What we do is that we push things, we look at things, we examine things, and we represent. If I was running for president, I would say, I can still do this, I'll bring this for you. But for members of parliament, they must constantly listen to what their constituents are saying, watch what's happening in the constituencies, because new things arise every day. For example, I want to push that the Mount Pleasant District Registrar General's office that's at Bond Shops there. That is these two, this small little room, that the Registrar General computerizes it so that it can also start issuing plastic IDs and also other services, even like passports, because they can. As well as also for the Ministry of Home Affairs to equip our police stations, Marlborough Police Station, Avondale Police Station, and Maple Rain with cars. The Commissioner General's headquarters refused my constituency development fund buys cars. They don't have any, but they refused. As well as also for the issue of drugs and alcohol and substance abuse. I'm concerned that, and it's a shame really, Comrade Fatso, in Harare West, it's a problem. I mean, there are even hard narcotics that are coming in, but also the mbanjes and I know the government once tried to legalize it, but we've got problems around even the broncos and alcohol. There is no rehabilitation, there are no programs. We're pretending that we don't have a problem, but we've buried in Harare West young people from that. So there are issues like that I want to push, and also for the government to come clean with us and to be honest and to accept that the bond rate is not 1-on-1, that it's 1 to 60, 70, whatever it is, so that the black market disappears. We can trade it in banks and it becomes easier to export and import, raw materials and to sell things. So those are some of the things I would want to do. I've got more to talk about if we had time, but time is like power. Hey, there's never enough. There's never enough.
In this campaign, we've seen Toko Kupe being called a hure. We've seen Priscilla Chigumba recently called a hure. All these very derogatory terms thrown at women. Are you finding this is a very sexist campaign at the moment for you as a woman politician?
Absolutely, comrade. This campaign, the 2018 election, is a blot of shame. Shame for what it's doing to women who are daring to offer themselves to the electorate and who are not necessarily accepting to be, to just accept anything that men say simply because they must cow down. I'm seeing this a lot, but I would say that this is not a new thing, Farai. It's been happening. I remember that in 2013, I had, I think, very serious problems around insults and hate speech, very sexist, misogynisms on social media. It was from within my party. It's extremely painful to be denigrated for being of a particular sex and to have all sorts of really nasty allegations and also taunts and about how you look, your hairstyle, and how big your nose should be, or whatever it is. I mean, it's extremely, or your marital status and so on. It's extremely awful. It's extremely unfair. Like what happened to Wazani Kupe, that here's a person who's exercising her constitutional right to approach a court. I'd never seen anything like that. I mean, that takes it to a new level where you actually then denigrate them and make disparaging remarks and call her hure because she's going to court. That is actually contempt of court. I'm actually surprised that there have been no prosecutions for contempt of court, because the Criminal Codification and Law Reform Act makes it an offense to intimidate a person around their exercising their rights around a court. I mean, it's just like something needs to happen. And even like with Priscilla Chigumba, you see, it's extremely easy to attack a woman. And I get, it's always a sense that, look, it's men who usually do this. But there are women who also join in because I think they know no better. That the vitriol, look, there are a lot of things that are wrong with ZEC, but there are also some right things that are going on with ZEC. But the criticism is going, from what I've seen, beyond the objective, like political. It's going personal and misogynistic. Instead of attacking ZEC and its processes, they're tackling the woman. I mean, it's going beyond that. And if it was a man who was in that office, I think the engagement would be more civil and would be more issue-based. But the attacks, the hatred, the vitriol is totally offside, to use the current football terms. Yeah, totally wrong.
Comrade Honorable Jessie Majome, we would like to thank you for joining us on The Week, and we hope to see you soon. We wish you well with your campaign.
Thank you, Comrade. I hope Harare Westerners put Harare West first and vote for me as their MP.
Thanks for joining us on The Week. I've been Comrade Fatso. You have been the people. This has been The Week. Thank you, and futseke to sexism.